Hi, welcome to our second January Asana practice. In this practice, we'll be exploring our theme, intention, using asanas and the physical body. 2 thoughts on intentions. The first is that your intention should be placed at the deepest spot within yourself. Because when it's planted in that deepest place, it permeates through all the layers beyond that. So it makes an impact on what you think in your mind. It makes an impact in what you perceive through your 5 senses, what you see and what you hear, touch, feel, smell. It makes a difference in how you respond to situations and how you make decisions and what you decide to say when you react or choose to voice your opinions and thoughts. So that's the first. Plant your intention deeply. And the second is that an intention is a direction that you choose to go. It's not a destination. You'll never get there. It's not, I'm going to walk and touch that wall. It's, I intend to move towards that wall. So you can never do it wrong. And just like your GPS system, if you get led astray, you'll hear, your mind tell you, recalculating route. You can make a U-turn and keep heading back in the direction of your intention. So we'll explore this as we move through our poses today. You'll need a couple blocks for this practice. You may or may not need them, but it's nice to have them ready. And a blanket is nice as well. And then if you're going to be doing your Yoga Nidra meditation following this practice, you might want to have everything nearby so that you can easily set up from this practice to your meditation without losing that sense of inner stillness. So let's go ahead and start by coming to standing. So stand with your feet a comfortable distance apart, close enough. Well, we want them as close as possible, but we want them far enough apart, hip distance or so that if you close your eyes, you feel like you're not going to lose your balance. You feel nice and steady. So find what that distance is for you. So to start with, we're going to take our left hand to our waist, take a nice deep inhale, lengthen the spine, and raise the right hand in front of you as though you're going to shake somebody's hand. And then as you exhale, keeping your feet firmly planted, I want you to twist to the left, bringing you can. And notice where it's at. Notice how far you were able to turn. And as you exhale, bring the arm back. And then let both arms relax by your sides. We're going to do the same thing again, but without moving our physical body. We're going to do all of it just in our mind. So close your eyes, let the chin tuck slightly. Take a couple nice deep breaths. And then we're going to do the same thing in our mind. So taking a deep inhale, feel length through the body, feel that right arm come up and out as though you're going to shake someone's hand. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, take that right arm around to the left as far as you can. And imagine that you're extremely agile and limber, so you might even be able to come all the way in a circle, but you can come really far in your mind. Just see it, feel it in your body. Use an exhale to bring that arm straight back around, and the arms come down by your sides. Perfect. Now open your eyes. Take that left hand to your waist. Inhale, reach the right arm up, and as you exhale, turn to the left. And I want you to notice how it felt to turn and where your arm is this time as opposed to the first time you did this. As you exhale, come back around and let the arms drop. A lot of times, the second time, it's easier to turn, or you find that you went much further. And the reason is because in your mind, you planted that seed, that you were agile, that you were limber, and you could see yourself moving further around than you could the first time. And it's to give you that feel for when you manifest, when you set an intention, what you believe is critical. because that's the first lens that you see everything through. So you want to see things without limitation as things that you can accomplish. And then sure, your physical body, I mean, it can only do so much, but it can do a lot more sometimes than we give it credit for because we limit ourselves with our mind. Hopefully that was a little bit interesting for you. So let's go ahead and come to the front of the mat and do a little movement. So coming to the front of your mat, bring hands to heart, relax the jaw towards the heart, let the shoulders come down the back, and take the front of your pubic bone and slant it a little behind the belly button, and just take a few breaths here. Hearing the inhale and the exhale. And letting the attention to the breath enable you to quiet the mind and come to a restful place in which you can start your practice. And on inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, come down into a forward fold. Let the head hang. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then go ahead and step the knees back, coming into a tabletop position. And then once there, go ahead and come all the way back and lower onto your belly. We'll start by rolling onto our right side. You're going to be resting on your right forearm. That right elbow is directly under the right shoulder. Hands are wide. Fingers are spread. And then bring the left or the legs down the mat. Let's take that top leg, the left leg, and bring it out in front of you. And then bend your right knee. And using your left hand, take a hold of the top of your right ankle. Pull the knee behind you. And then pull the heel in towards your glutes. Turn the left toes towards you and let your right ear just hang heavy towards the shoulder. Take a few breaths here. Go ahead and set that right leg down on the leg. Take your left hand and take a hold of your right foot on the little toe side of the foot. As you inhale, sweep the leg behind you, keeping it parallel to the floor and kind of moving your hand as you need to around the foot to bring it back. And then as you exhale, bring the leg in front of you, coming into a forward fold. So as you inhale, you feel the heart reaching forward. And as you exhale, you feel the belly button reach towards the spine. The back rounds as you come into kind of a forward fold with the upper half of the body. A couple more times with the pace of your breath. Feeling the vertebra come together with the inhale and feel them nicely stretch one from the other with your exhale. This is my favorite spine warm-up, as those of you who come up here to class know. One more. And go ahead and set the leg down. And you're just going to roll to the other side. I'm going to move on my mat so that I'm not lying with my back towards you. So this time we're lying on our left side. Again, that left shoulder is right above the left elbow. Left fingers are spread wide. Go ahead and take the right leg out in front of you. Try to make as much of a 90-degree angle as you can with the right hip. Curl the toes back towards you. And then bend the left knee. Take the right hand. Take a hold of the top of the ankle. Pull that left leg behind you and then pull the heel in towards your glutes. Take a few breaths here and cat pulling its tail. You can always drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And go ahead and set that left foot on the ground. Take your right hand and take hold of the little toe side of the right foot. And as you inhale, sweep the leg behind you. Feel your heart reach towards your belly button. And as you exhale, belly button reaches towards the spine. Nice and slow with your breath. Let your movement take the duration of your breath. Feeling like your body and your energy are not stitched together, and they're not. So marry your movement, breath, energy, and form. And this next time you come forward after this exhale, go ahead and let the legs come down the mat. And go ahead and come onto your back. Bring your feet hip distance or so apart. Hands are next to down your sides with the palms facing the floor. Bring your heels as close as you can in towards your sit bones, or some people like to just hold the mat and bring their body towards their heels. So if that works better for you, feel free. And let's move with the breath. As you inhale, slowly lift the hips and arc the arms up and overhead till the backs of your hands reach to the floor behind you. Imagine your heels pressing away from each other. Keep the knees from splaying apart. Exhale, slowly lower the hips as you lower the arms back down along your sides. 3 more times with your breath pace. Inhale, and the arms reach all the way overhead. And as you exhale, lower vertebra by vertebra as the hands return to your sides. Twice more. And we're warming up. We're not looking to have the highest rise to our bridge pose. We're just looking to let the body begin to warm up and move. And when you settle down the next time, go ahead and roll onto your right side and take a couple breaths there. Just enjoying that feel of a fetal position. It's so nurturing. And then as you inhale, press yourself up. Let's go ahead and come to a tabletop position. Knees are below the hips, wrists are below the shoulders. And if you're like me and you're double jointed and your elbows want to point forward, turn the eyes or the insides of the elbows in. Make some circles with the hips. And we'll do 4 circles one direction at your own pace, and then 4 the other. And when you've done 4 in both or either direction, go ahead and settle in your tabletop position. Let's go ahead and move the knees back slightly and press into a downward facing dog. Legs are hip distance apart. Create really long arms and then twirl the arms to the midline just a little and then hug the top of the arm bone into your armpit. Let your ears melt away from your shoulders. Ears are between the arms, but when you open your eyes, you can look down at the mat. You can wag your tail one way and then the other, working the hips just a little. And then go ahead and walk your feet to your hands. And when you get there, go ahead and lift your toenails off the mat so that you're resting on all 4 corners of your feet. Let the head hang heavy. Set your toes down one by one and then let them float. Rock a little bit. Bring your hips over your heels. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Create a similar trajectory from your spine into your neck. So we're not going to like lift our head up, right? We want to kind of follow the same line. And then almost as if you have a ballet bar right in the crease of your hips. Tuck your belly button towards your spine and wrap yourself over that bar, coming more deeply into your forward fold. And as you inhale, sweep the arms in front of you shoulder distance apart. Reach the arms overhead. And I'm going to turn, but you don't need to. Bring your ears right between your arms if that's in your practice. And then make sure you've created that balance of long arms, but the arm bones being nice and nestled into your shoulder socket. Bring your feet together. Interlace your fingers, and I know sometimes you can't see it on the video, but you interlace your fingers and let just the pointer finger point towards the ceiling. Finding all of that, plant the little toe side of that left foot, take a nice deep inhale, and exhale to your right. Finding the bowl of your hip, and letting yourself come even a little more out of that. And as you're in some of these poses, I'm going to remind you of the two things we said about intention. And as you're in this pose, and also I'm going to pause to say, square your shoulders off so they're parallel with the front of your mat. But remember the twist that we did. So first off, in your mind, see yourself as being able to come a long way to the right. Pull out of that hip, and on an exhale, let yourself stretch to the right side. And then also remember that our intention is just to move to the right. It's not to fold at a right angle from the waist or anything else. So we're satisfying our intention. We're moving towards the right. We're not judging or analyzing. We're being easy on ourselves. As you inhale, slowly come up. And as you exhale, plant that right foot and come over to the left. Square the shoulders off with the front of your mat. Usually means take that top armpit and roll it back just a little. Arms are long but nice and nestled into the shoulders. Heads between the arms. And see yourself. See that you can really do this pose deeply, that you can stretch in that way so that you can come over. And then see where you are and just be content. Take a few breaths here. Close the eyes if you feel steady. And inhale, come all the way up. So you may already be facing the front of your mat. I'm gonna face the same way that you are. We're gonna do a style of vinyasa that's slightly different. So bring the palms of your hands together. To come down, we're going to keep the palms together. And as we come down, we're going to start by taking our thumbs and touching behind our head, taking our joined palms to our heart, and then bringing the hands to the mat. Inhale, come to your halfway lift. Exhale, deeply fold. Take a long step back with your right foot. So you'll set yourself up in a lunge position, and then take a long step back with your left foot. Hold on the inhale in a plank position, and then as you exhale, drop your knees, chin, and chest to the mat. I'm going to move these blocks so you can see me. Use your inhale to kind of slither up into cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Exhale, the left foot forward. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep the arms in front of you. Bring palms to touch. And exhale, hands to heart. So let's do that one more time on the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, touch the thumbs behind the head. To the heart, hands to the mat. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, deeply fold. Take a long step back with your left foot. Plant your hands, long step back with your right. Hold on the inhale. Exhale, drop knees, chin, and chest to the mat. Inhale, come up into cobra. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Exhale, the right. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. So hopefully that gives you a feel for the general sun salutation that we're going to be working within. And now we'll add a little more movement to it. So let's nice and slowly inhale and bring the arms overhead. Exhale, touch behind the head, to the heart, and to the mat. Inhale, come to your halfway lift. Nice and long in the back, as though you're creating space between each vertebra. Exhale, deeply fold, and take a long step back with the right foot. Drop the knee, and as you inhale, reach the arms overhead. Pull the belly button towards the heart. Hold for another breath. And exhale, straighten the torso and drop hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop your right hand on the inside of your front leg. Left hand's going to sit on the knee. Create space. And on the next exhale, twist to the left, looking back over your left elbow. Inhale, bring the left arm overhead. Gaze is to the sky. When an exhale comes by, reach forward as though you're going to shake hands. Bring the arm into the shoulder. And exhale, bring the hand to the mat. Place your weight on the hands as you step that front foot back. Coming into plank. Sternum is slightly facing forward. Exhale with control to the mat. Take your forehead to the mat. Take a couple breaths here. Let the forehead touching the earth be a reminder to empty thoughts. When an inhale comes by, come into cobra, lower high, and exhale into downward facing dog. Take high behind you, push through the heel. Let the left heel push towards the floor. Find that balance of extension, but also pulling into the shoulder and hip sockets. Keep your hips parallel with the floor. And as you exhale, bring that leg through. So it's a fluid motion of bending the right knee under the heart, bringing the shoulders over the palms, and then stepping that foot through. Go ahead and drop the back knee to the mat. Keeping the toes curled under, inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Take a nice deep inhale. Bring your left hand on the inside of the front leg. Right hand's going to come to the right thigh. Elongate with an inhale, and as you exhale, turn and look back over your right elbow. Lift the right arm straight overhead. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, reach forward and bring your hand back to the mat. Curling those back toes under if they're not already. Press that back knee off the mat and step the front foot back. We're going to come into an upward facing dog. So we're just going to roll over the toes so that we're on the tops of the feet. Bring the shoulders back. Coming into your upward facing dog. Legs are off the mat if that's in your practice. Exhale, roll back over the toes. Coming into downward facing dog. And go ahead and step the left foot forward and then the right. Come into your halfway lift, and you can always bring your hands to your shins if you'd like to. Exhale, deeply fold. Inhale, reach your arms in front of you. Bring palms to touch and bring hands to heart. And just take a couple breaths here, noticing the movement of energy in your body. And on the next inhale, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, joined hands come behind the head, to the heart, and to the mat. Inhale, come into your halfway lift. Exhale, deeply fold. Let's take a long step back with the left foot. Finding our lunge. Taking the time to make sure we're set up right, not just moving through it quickly. And let's go ahead and take the right foot back as well. Finding our plank. Then let's slowly drop our knees, chin and chest to the mat. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, slowly slither forward. Engage the back as well as you lift the heart off the mat, roll the shoulders to the back. Plant the tops of the feet to the mat. Then curl the toes under, press off and back into your downward facing dog. Let's raise the left leg high behind us. Press with the heel. Flex that ankle. Square the hips off with the mat. Feel a nice elongation through the whole body. And as you exhale, bring that left foot all the way through to the hands. Step forward with the right foot. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach in front of you. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's go ahead and come down onto the mat. So for this next pose, we're going to sit with our legs coming down the mat, about hip distance apart. You might have your blocks handy, and if you know that your lower back's a little tight, or you know in a forward fold you'd like to be water falling off of a blanket, go ahead and take your blanket, fold it to a desired height, and just set it under your sit bones so you're kind of water falling off. If you're not sitting on a blanket, at least bring yourself up and set yourself down so that you feel a little bit of a forward tilt with your hips. So let's start by inhaling and bringing the arms overhead. Create some space in the spine, even as you feel the shoulders nice and snug, the hips nice and snug. And then as you exhale, come forward. Let's try to keep a fairly straight back, more of a hatha style forward fold than a yin caterpillar. You can bring your hands to your legs, or if you're comfortable, you can bring them around the feet. Hold on to the bottoms of the feet. If you'd like, you can take your block between your legs and rest your forehead on your block. So once you're in the pose, close your eyes. And let's just feel the pose. First, by emptying our mind of any preconceived notions of how far or how little we can come into a forward fold. Seeing our body as capable and agile. And setting an intention to let ourselves come as far into this forward fold as is in our practice today. And then using every inhale to create length through the spine. You can kind of pull with the hands to create length. And as you exhale, drop your heart towards the earth. And continuing with eyes closed, this dance of inhaling and lengthening, exhaling and folding. Just continuing to allow yourself to move energetically in the pose. No expectations, no judgment. And then as you're ready, with an inhale, and notice where you're at, open your eyes, and slowly roll back up. Placing your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards the back of your mat. Bring your knees up, feet to the mat, hip distance apart. Just gently lift the hips off of the mat. A little bit of stretch in the body. And as you exhale, slowly bring your sit bones back down and let your legs extend back in front of you. Let's come into a twist. We're going to start by taking our left foot and crossing it over our right leg so that the left toes are in line with the right knee. Interlacing your fingers around that left knee, create some height in your spine, chin slightly tucked towards your heart. As you exhale, take your right arm, wrap it around that left knee so that the left knee is in the crook of the right elbow. Let that right forearm run down the leg, fingers pointing towards the hip. Bring your left arm in front of you as though you're going to shake hands. Hug the shoulder back just a little. Inhale, create some length and arc that left arm all the way behind you. Bring the hand behind your tailbone, fingers facing the back of your mat. And with each inhale, feel your elongation through the spine. With each exhale, twist towards your left. Close your eyes, take your gaze to the leftmost corners of your eyes. Keeping that same dance as we had before, where with every inhale you feel the length. And with every exhale, this time instead of dropping the heart, we're going to come deeper into our twist. No preconceived notions in the mind about our pose, and no judgment. We're just intending to come into this twist. We don't have a goal in mind. Let the breath be soft, the face relaxed. Another few breaths. And then use an exhale to slowly turn forward, bring the torso forward. Let's pick up that left leg and again, bring the foot into the crook of the right elbow. If it's in your practice, bring the knee into the crook of the left elbow. Lift the calf so that it's parallel with the floor, curl the toes towards the knee. And just rock that leg back and forth. You might notice a little special something as you bring it to the right. Movement should be nice and slow. And after your next exhale, go ahead and bring that leg straight back onto the mat. So let's come over to the other side. Let's pick up the right leg, cross it over the left, the right toes in line with the left knee. Interlace the fingers around the right knee, create some length in the spine. Wrap that left arm around the right leg. Inhale, reach the right arm out. Bring it all the way around behind you. Elongate and twist to the right. And just like before, continue the movement, lengthening and twisting. Gaze is to the rightmost corners of the eyes. Letting the jaw be soft. Relaxing all the expression from your face. Feeling that gentle hug to the midline. As yin meets yang, hot meets cool, left meets right. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly turn back forward. And let's pick up the right leg this time. Put the foot in the left elbow, knee in the right. Lift the calf parallel to the floor. If that's in your practice, you can hold the foot if resting it in your elbow is not in your practice. And then as you breathe, just slowly rock the leg from side to side. Try not to let the heel come down towards the earth. Maybe pausing a little more as you come to the left than the right. And then when you're ready, bringing the foot back to the mat. Let's take one of our blocks and set it midway up our mat so we'll be able to reach it if we're lying on our back. And then bring your feet to the mat and press your sit bones as close to your heels as you can, and then go ahead and lie down. Trying to continue to keep your heels and your sit bones as close together as possible. Our arms will be on the mat, hands up this time instead of down. Bring your shoulders under the back. Bring your feet parallel with one another. And imagine there's a marionette string midway between your knees and the V of your legs on the inside of your thighs. And as you inhale, use that marionette string on either side to gently lift your buttocks off the mat, raising the belly towards the sky, lifting the heart. Chin moves a little more towards the back of your mat so that your neck is soft. Let all the weight be on the feet and the arms. Neck is soft. Thighs feel as though they're elongating towards the wall in front of you. Take the hips on the front of your body and corset them to the midline. Tie a bow and then pull that bow towards your heart, creating a nice elongation in the torso. And let yourself just settle into this pose for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, take your block and set it underneath your sacrum. So not your lumbar spine, your sacrum. The far end of the block will line up with your tailbone. Put your weight onto the block. Take a couple breaths here. If this mid setting is too much, you can turn it down one to a lower setting. So it's totally up to you. If you're super bendy and you like putting the block on the highest setting for bridge pose, resist that urge and move it down one, because the movements that we're going to do will not be comfortable with a block on that really tall setting. Bring your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Interlace your fingers so you can hold on to the knee. Extend the right leg in front of you. Turn the right toes back towards you. Get a nice long psoas stretch on the right side as you maybe make circles with that left ankle. Or you can just stay still, whatever your body suggests right now. Going both directions. And then flexing and extending the foot. Toes are wide. And then pause for a couple breaths. And slide that right foot in and set the left foot back on the mat. Take a breath. And then let's switch sides. Bring the right knee towards the right shoulder. Slide the left leg out on the mat. Turn the left toes towards you. Settle into that left psoas, which is just right along here, front of the hip. Nice and heavy. And then again, if you want, you can make circles with that right ankle. Going both directions. And then maybe flex and extend the foot with the toes wide. Settle into stillness. And then when you're ready, if it's comfortable, extend both legs in front of you. Arms are along your sides, palms up. If this is a little too much, you can turn the block down one setting. If the block is already on the lowest setting, you can go ahead and bring yourself all the way to the mat slowly. And then slide your feet in. Lift up just enough to take the block out from underneath you, and then lower vertebra by vertebra to the mat. Bring your feet mat distance apart and let the knees fall together. Relax. And when you're ready, bring your knees apart and let your feet stay mat distance apart. Line the little toe sides of your feet up with the edges of your mat. Your little toes will be on the floor. Cactus your arms alongside your head. As you exhale, let your legs windshield wiper to the left. The knees are going to fall to the left as you look to the right. Inhale, bring them back up. And exhale the knees to the right as you look to the left. Continuing once more to either side, letting the duration of the movement match the duration of the breath. And then go ahead and pause. Bring your legs straight out along the mat. Bring your arms by your sides and come into a pose comfortable for final Shavasana. If you're going to listen to a Yoga Nidra recording next, you can pause and get all your props ready so that you can be supremely comfortable. If you're going on about your day, I encourage you to take about 10 minutes and just relax in Shavasana. Let the mind quiet. Let the body relax. Remembering that intentions are planted at the deepest level. And we can do that in our Yoga Nidra meditation. And an intention is not a goal. It is not a destination or achievement. It is a journey. It is a way of being. Let yourself relax. Namaste.